Hello, my name is David Roth. I'm a member of the Kansas City Woodworkers Guild, and I just want to talk a little bit about who we are and what we do. I started woodworking about 20 years ago. Actually, I quit smoking. I had to come up with a new hobby, something to use my hands with. And my father-in-law took me to a tool show. And it was in here in Kansas City, and there was a member, George Dixon, and one other guild member that was sitting at an 8-foot table. And he said, well, why don't you come down to the guild and check us out? So I went down there and checked out the guild, and it was a lot of fun. They had a program and show and tell, and they also had a raffle. And in this raffle, they called my name out on this little ticket. But I saw a clock kit, and it was just parts of a cherry clock kit, you know, the sides and tops and bottoms. So I grabbed that. And then a member from the Kansas City Woodworkers Guild came up to me. He goes, do you want to learn a good finish? If you do, this is what you want to do. So he told me about how to lightly stain the wood to enhance the color of the wood. Talked about shellac, talked about varnish and wax. And his name was Clint Darling. And I'm sure when he saw me in jeans and a t-shirt and a black leather jacket. It's like, this guy knows nothing about woodworking. But there's a lot of people in the guild that can help out, and he was just one of those members. If you ever have a question about woodworking, about a technique, about woodworking joinery, finishing, there's someone always here to answer your question. If you're trying to look for where to find different types of wood and some things like that, people can help you out with there too. We have a workshop here at the Kansas City Woodworkers Guild that has a shop foreman, so anytime that you have a question about a woodworking tool, someone can answer that for you. Another advantage of the Kansas City Woodworkers Guild is I'd like to explain a little bit of the process of how our monthly meetings work. What you do on a monthly meeting is when you come down here, we get together once a month on the third Wednesday of the month, and we have a business part at first, about 20 minutes worth of business, tell them what the programs are doing, what classes we have to offer, and if we're going to be helping out the community. Not if, it's when we help out the community with our activities here. And also after that, we have show and tell. That means if you build something, you can bring it and you can present it and you can show it to people and you can explain the process. And then during the break, they can come and ask you questions about it. Everyone here at the Guild does something a little bit different. Everyone has their own type of woodworking things they like to make. After the break, what we do is we have some type of program, and that program consists of learning something within, whether it's making dovetails, how to build furniture, mission-style furniture, ball and claw, wood carving, Intarsia, wood finishing, or safety. We always talk about some type of program. We always have a learning piece at our meetings. With that said, you see all these nice things, says, boy, I really want to know how to make that, but I just don't have the tools. Well, we got them here at the Kansas City Woodworkers Guild. As you see, we've had scroll saws here, we have table saws, band saws, routers. We have all the equipment that you need. We even have a 16-inch joiner, and some people just don't have room for that, but we have the tools here for that. The Kansas City Woodworkers Guild has 10,000 square feet. That means we have enough room for classrooms, tools, and business meetings. If you have a question about like building a box, Jim McCord, that guy's great. He'll take you to his own shop and he'll show you how to build a box. He'll stop what he's doing, says this is what you want to do. He shows you how to join it, how to make the joinery, put it together and glue it. In about 2 hours you're done. I go home and do it, and it takes me a day to do it. But he has a system down and he does a really good job. You'll find that with all these guild members here too. If you want to learn how to build mission-style furniture, a joinery technique, finishing, any of that type here, you have members here to help out. When I first started woodworking, I didn't know what I wanted to do. That first clock that I made and built still lasts me to this day. But I wanted to do something different, so I started working on Intarsia. It's also known as Intarsia. And I went to our local woodworking store, Woodcraft, and had a book of Judy Gale Roberts on Intarsia. And I did this small little pelican. I said, that's what I want to do. Because beforehand, I used to do paintings, and I'd spend 30, 40 hours on a painting. Painting's fun. It's a lot of fun, but nothing better than taking a piece of wood and running it through a planer and seeing the grain and the color of the wood. So with Intarsia, you have different colors of wood and textures. You have plain wood, curly grain, fiddleback, bird's eye, things like that. So when we start doing Intarsia, this is what we generally do. We do a fleur-de-lis. And the reason why the students here at the Guild work on this first is because once they learn how to sculpt concave or sculpt convex, they can apply this to most of all Intarsia. It's a lot of fun. You don't need a lot of woods to do this type of work. So this would be a beginner's aspect. The next would be an intermediate one. And an intermediate one would be like this bird here. And again, a guild member helped me out saying, hey Dave, from our local woodworking company or woodworking store, So they have this beautiful McCord there, and his name is Jim McCord, and he told me about that. And then Jim also gave me this burled walnut for this piece. So guild members really like to help out here. The thing about doing Intarsia is you don't need a lot of wood. You have that one little piece that you want to save, you got it from your Uncle Joe or something like that. You can put it into a piece of artwork. Once you learn how to do the 3 or 4 feathers, it's all repetition. So this is more of an intermediate project. As you notice here, we got dark colored woods here. This dove is made from a light colored wood. And we call this wood, it's actually cottonwood, but one of our members, Wayne Wainwright, held up this wood for us so we could purchase it. Someone donated to the guild, so we called it Wayne's wood. And it's just the same way, different technique, different colored woods. You shape it and sculpt it and you put it back together like a mosaic. Another intermediate project for Intarsia would be this cougar, or black panther. This is a really fun one to do. This has burled walnut, regular walnut, and fiddleback maple in it. It has a finish of shellac, varnish, wax, and a little bit of oil. And it turned out really nice. When doing Intarsia, I like to do things a little bit differently. I like to do a small project like this, maybe something with 40 pieces in it. And this one over here, I like to do something a little bit bigger. This one here has like 140 pieces in it. So what you do is you work on a small project one time, and then you work on a bigger piece the second time. Each piece does take about an hour a piece to do, to make, so that's why I like to do a small one and then a big project. Now there's different types of wood in here are walnut, maple, hollywood, sycamore, and ash. And that's the nice thing about Intarsia is the different types of woods are your color palette. Those are your oils or your acrylics or your inks. When doing Intarsia, you don't need a lot of tools to do this type of work. The only thing you need is a rotary tool. It has a small sanding drum, and it's a scroll saw and that rotary tool. Later on, as you do Intarsia, you always look into more ways of doing it, quicker, faster, and more efficient. And this one here is done sort of with the air drum, so it doesn't leave a hard edge onto the woodworking. Next, I'd like to talk about marquetry. Marquetry is where you take 2 pieces of dark veneer and 2 pieces of light veneer, and you place them on top of each other, and then you go ahead and you cut them out. So this one here has a black background with a light color wood. This one here has a light background with a dark ornament on it. So basically what you're doing is you're stacking all these veneers together, and you cut out the scroll saw and you interchange the pieces. That's all you're doing. And this is what the skin looks like before you glue it up. That's your veneer project. It's thin, it's about maybe a 40-second thick, and you just stack all the pieces together. You put your poster board on it with your cartoon, you cut out the scroll saw, and you interchange the pieces. If you like puzzles, you're going to love Marquetry. It's a lot of fun. Another thing we have here at the Guild is we have a scroll saw special interest group. What they do is the members get here together once a month, and they produce different types of projects. If you see back here on the wall, this would be considered as fretwork. And they scroll saw the piece and you made a little basket. And so everyone here does something a little bit different. We have people that do marquetry, some people that make plaques, that do Christmas ornaments. There's all sorts of things you can do with the scroll saw. But this is just one of the items.